difference between these two? Are they the same but different names, or there are some major differences between these two? Anybody could explain what is?
As I understand it, the only difference between an intent and a pending intent is that one of them is dispatched immediately, whereas the other one is held back until some action occurs.
Very close, yes. Let me elaborate on that. Normally, in any program, we create intent and immediately call it, right? But using set activity or start activity or something, right? We create intent and start activity, job is done, right? But that is a normal intent. But in some applications, we are creating intent, but not necessarily we just call it right away. We're going to wait until something happens, okay? For a case of notification, something happens and, we're going to fire up the intent, right? So the difference between intent and pending intent is intent is created right now and is used right now. Pending intent is created right now but is not used. We're going to wait until some occasion or something happens, and after that we're going to use it. Okay? These are the major difference between pending intent and regular intent. Okay? Tonight, in the subject of Alarm Manager, we are constantly talking about pending intent. I wanted to make sure that you guys know what the difference is between intent and pending intent. Okay? If you guys are familiar, of course, many of you are familiar with Unix and Linux and have taken our good courses with some of our very good faculty members, one of them sitting here. Definitely you have learned about a cron system, right? Cron, C-R-O-N, okay? When you want to run some action at certain time, certain date, you're gonna put in a cron, right? And cron is gonna run it for you, okay? When I was working in a bank, so all of the backups were doing after 2 a.m. We are starting doing the backup of all of our files in Oracle database from 2 to 8 in the morning, okay? So this was the window of backup. Of course, I was not there, okay? Of course, one way is to just go there, as soon as the time becomes 2 in the morning, you start doing the backup. But nobody does it, okay? You are sleeping and cron automatically does it for you, okay? So cron is one of these, okay? The other mechanism which we have is ACT. Have you used ACT? Okay? ACT is a sort of cron, but it runs one job or certain job at certain time, and that's it. Okay? Cron is going to be repeated but for example, at 4 p.m. you want to do something. That's it. You want to delete a bunch of files. That's it. Nothing else. Okay? So ACT is going to do it for you, but this is only one time. But if you want to do it every time, or for example, every 2 hours, you want to clean up your backup. You want to remove your junk files, okay? Normally there is a cron to do that. Okay? Every 2 hours, cron is going to come and delete your files. Junk files. In Android, we have such a mechanism with which is called Alarm Manager. Okay? Alarm Manager. Alarm Manager does what a cron and ACT commands do in Unix and Linux and Mac OS X. Okay? Problem the same. We are executing a certain event or broadcasting some intent at specific time or interval, okay, interval. You could use the Alarm Manager to execute or run certain event right away, or you could say repeat that every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 1 minute or something, okay? And also you could say your timing, you could adjust the timing based on the boot time, okay? It means the system boot time. When the system is booted, you want 1 hour after that certain activities being take place. So this is really flexible. Alarm manager is very flexible, okay? And normally, when alarm goes off, it's gonna call the broadcast service or inform the broadcast service, okay? Broadcast, we discussed about broadcasting this, okay? And broadcast could be combined with notification, and the result is great, okay? Really, really important, okay? So if we combine this together with alarm, we see, wow, something very nice is gonna happen, okay? One of the good things about alarm is, let's say in your activity, you're creating an alarm, and this alarm is supposed to goes off 2 hours from now. If your activity is not around anymore, still alarm is going to continue. If your cell phone is in a sleep mode, still alarm is going to continue. That is a good point. Alarm is doing this job regardless of if your activity is still around or if your cell phone is asleep or not asleep. Doesn't care. Okay? In fact, really one of the usage or one of the use for Alarm Manager is waking up your cell phone. Okay? You want your cell phone wakes up at 4 in the morning to do something for you. Okay? You could set up the Alarm Manager and it's going to wake your cell phone. Okay? This is really nice.
Is waking up the same as powering on?
Almost. Do you know what? When you're putting your cell phone in a sleep mode, what's going to happen? You say my cell phone is sleeping. What does that?
Nothing's gonna ring. Silent mode.
Have you ever put your cell phone in a sleep mode?
Yeah.
Okay. So waking up is opposite of what? Sleep mode. Come on. Okay. Clear? Normally we are putting in a sleep mode because we want to save battery. We do not want to waste battery. We do not want to waste our resources or something like that. So we put it in a sleep, right? And when something happens, we're going to wake it up, right? And use it, okay? Okay, so this was very short introduction about what Alarm Manager does for us, okay? Now, let's see how we could create the Alarm Manager. Okay. To create the Alarm Manager, we are using one of the very useful methods in Android, and that is get system service. I think we have been using get system service in different applications in our and programs in this course, okay? Let me show you how to do that. It's very, very useful. So we can use Alarm Manager. Let's say, yeah, we need to create the object of it. Equal. Let's cast it because we are using get system service. Get system service gives us variety of different objects depending on what our request is. So we need to cast it. So Alarm Manager followed by get system service parenthesis. Now The argument is very important. The argument is alarm service. Okay. And alarm manager object is created. Okay. Now, the next thing after creating the alarm manager is what time such and such job should be executed, or what time the alarm should go off, right? You need to set it up, right? This can be done by a variety of different methods available, which we're going to discuss about them. One of the ones that very often we are using is the set method, S-E-T, set method of the alarm manager, okay? So, let's start. am dot set, okay? Alarm type. The first argument is alarm type. Alarm type normally is integer. Okay, int alarm type, which I'm going to tell you what those types are in a moment. The other one is trigger. Let's say time. Trigger time normally is long. Trigger time in milliseconds. Okay, trigger time in milliseconds. Okay? This is a long time. And after that, we have pending intent. Okay, let's put it like pending intent. And pending intent is the intent that we're gonna use to execute specific program, specific activity or something. So, if you do it at certain time, this will be executed, okay? And depending on your alarm type, let me give you the listing of alarm types, okay? One thing I forgot to tell you before I give you, if the time that you're specifying is already passed, let's say you are supposed to do something at 6:30 today, now is what? 7:25. It's already passed. If the alarm is already passed, it means the time is already passed, alarm is going to start immediately. Okay? Alarm is going to start immediately if you give a time that is already passed. Okay? Okay. Now let's go for alarm types. Alarm types. We have RTC, wake up. RTC wake up. In fact, this is alarm manager dot RTC wake up. These are all constants of the alarm manager, okay? But in order to save ink, I am just refactoring that. So RTC wake up. What does RTC stand for?
Real-time clock.
What?
Real-time clock.
Real-time counter. Real-time counter. It also return to clinic is another one, which has nothing to do with this subject. Yeah, in medical, it's a medical term, return to clinic. Okay, so RTC wake up. Okay, what does it do? It wakes up your device. Your device is going to wake up. Okay, your device is gonna wake up from sleep, and after that, after waking up, the pending intent is gonna fire. Okay? Of course, at a specific time. Yes, it's gonna wake up and at a specific time, it's gonna. Yes.
You said that the trigger time is in milliseconds. So, how is the trigger time interpreted if you say RTC wake up? If I want the device to wake up at, say 9 p.m. tonight, I would say RTC wake up, comma, and some milliseconds.
No. I'm going to discuss about that. Good question. So we're going to spend at least half an hour about how the timing is going to be calculated, or how the timing is going to how you're going to adjust your timing. Okay. We are just to answer your question. We are using a calendar class. Okay. And calendar class is a very rich class. We have variety of different methods to handle the time and date and year and minute and second and AM and PM and zone and everything, right? So we're going to take advantage of the richness of calendar class for handling timing in AlarmManager. Okay? In a moment you're going to see that. Good question, right? Okay, so this was one of them, but there are several alarm type. Let's go for the other one. Pure RTC, just type RTC, okay? If you are using RTC, it means it means firing the pending intent at a specified time. It's going to fire the intent at a specific time, but it does not wake up your device. Device should be already up. Otherwise, this would not do anything. Okay? So, device should be up, should be alive, should be live, should be already awake. Okay? And
So just to clarify, so
yeah.
the device is already awake, running, device is running. And then RTC, and then after that,
It's gonna
pending
yes.
intent, fire on pending intent, like
Yes.
it was a regular, like it was a regular intent.
Yes, you know the difference between these two is the RTC wake up, as the name says, is gonna wake your device up, and after that it's gonna fire up this based on the timing, right? RTC does not wake up your cell phone or your device. As soon as that your device is already up, okay? And is waiting for the time comes, and after that it's gonna start. Okay? So the difference is waking up or not.
Does wake up work on milliseconds and RTC work on a?
Everything is in milliseconds.
Okay.
All of the timing
All right.
in AlarmManager is based on milliseconds. Okay?
Okay.
Of course, you could convert. Let's say you want to do something tomorrow, and you want to have. You want to talk about day, right? You want, for example, you wake up your device tomorrow. So, but even one day should be converted to milliseconds, okay? So you're going to end up with that very large number. That's what, this is long, okay? To handle very large number. The other one is elapsed real time. Elapsed real time. Okay. It starts or fires your pending intent when the specific time when the specific time comes, but the time is measured based on the boot time. For example, you want to say this job should be done 1 hour after boot time. It means after your cell phone is started or booted, 1 hour after that, this should be done. Okay? This is really important because after the boot, certain activities need to be taken place, need to be happening. Okay, certain activities. And one after each other, these are done by, this is the reason that we are calculating our timing based on the boot time, okay? If you guys are familiar with Unix, Linux, and Mac, you know that when we are booting up the operating system, certain jobs should be done. For example, certain daemons should be started. Okay, like for example, init daemon, okay, should be started, and many other daemons should be started. So one after each other, in the RC file which we have, is gonna start. Okay, one after each other, right? The same thing happens in Android. Android is based on Linux, if you know the heart is a Linux kernel, okay? And pretty much the same mechanism, but we are using AlarmManager for timing, okay? It's very interesting. Okay, so we learned about elapsed real time, okay? It's based on boot up, okay? Okay. This assumes that device is already booted and is not in sleep mode. Okay, it's not in sleep mode. It doesn't wake it up. Okay. This does not wake up your device. Okay. So I just want to mention. There is another one, elapsed. Underscore real time underscore wake up okay. This is the same as above, but if your cell phone is in the sleep mode, will be wake up. Okay? So these two are the same. But if your cell phone is it's gonna. Okay. Let me give you example. Okay. Let me give you example. AM, we assume that AM is the object of our alarm manager. We already created AM dot set alarm manager dot RTC underscore wake up comma. Okay. C, I'm going to tell you what C is in a moment. C dot get time in millis, comma, PI. PI is a pending intent. Okay. So, we discussed about that, right? Okay. This means whatever time we have, it means current time for the calendar. C is the object of a calendar, okay? Object of a calendar. Calendar class. So I'm going to show you how to create it. Okay?
So that would wake up the device if it weren't already awake, and it would do it immediately.
That's it, exactly. Okay. It's gonna, well, not immediately.
It depends on
depending on
calendar.
how the calendar time is set.
Okay.
Let's say you're gonna set up a calendar to be 2 hours from now. Okay? So when you are doing that, this shows the 2 hours from now timing, right? And it's gonna wake up our device if it is sleeping based on this timing and runs this pending intent.
Will it throw an error if it's already awake?
What?
Will it throw an error if it's already awake?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta check and see if it's awake first, okay.
Okay? It's going to wake up the device, right? If
Yeah.
the device is sleeping. If it is not sleeping,
Okay.
it's okay.
We'll see.
Nothing is going to happen, okay? If it
It'll
is
still run
sleeping, if it is in a sleeping mode, it's going to bring it up.
But it'll still run the intent.
Oh, anyway, it's going to be on intent. It doesn't matter regardless of if it is sleeping or not.
Okay.
Okay? But the good point is, if it is sleeping, it's going to wake it up. But if it is not, still it's running.
Okay.
Yeah. Continue, guys. So tonight we're going to spend a bit of time about the calendar class to show you the different features of this really useful class in Android and in Java, and after that we'll learn more about it. But it's pretty simple. Again, a little bit later tonight you're going to find out that this set, the set method here, is not working very accurately. Okay. Specifically in the most modern versions of Android. It means before KitKat, it was working great. After KitKat, we found out that it doesn't work properly. Exactly. For example, we wanted at certain time something happens, and you were waiting and waiting. How come it's not started yet? You know, and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and after, for example, sometimes it was starting, and everybody was complaining. And in fact, most of our programs that heavily were based on timing, after KitKat was not working properly or were not working properly. Okay, and we complained, and not us, many people complained, and they made a couple of other methods which I'm going to discuss tonight. Okay, one of the methods that they made is called set exact.
Yeah.
It's not funny, but that's what it is. Okay? Set exact. So they made a new method for if you really care about exact timing. Okay. The method is set exact
I read this yesterday.
and the same number of
Same arguments.
Okay, same number of arguments. Set exact, guaranteed, past tense. Set exact, guaranteed, not guarantees, guaranteed that everything was working perfectly based on time. Okay, it was working perfectly until marshmallow.
Let's try this one.
Well, you're going to find out why. I'm going to explain it to you guys why they, in a more modern versions, not working very carefully, very accurately. Okay. Until marshmallow. When marshmallow came, again, even set exact was not working exactly. Okay. Following? And finally, we found out that none of these methods are made to work exactly on certain seconds or milliseconds. Okay, they are not. Later on, we found out that the reason is saving energy. Saving energy. Of course. Saving battery, saving resources. Okay, because there are not only one pending intent in your cell phone. You don't believe hundreds. I'm not exaggerating. Hundreds of pending intent are waiting to be started, to be executed, to be fired up. Okay, at certain time. Okay? For example, all of them are waiting to be started at 2 in the morning. So this volume of pending intents that waiting to start is causing your battery being empty right away. Okay? Obviously, you see half of your battery is gone or more than half is gone, nothing. You don't know what happened. Okay? Very often you're using a cell phone, you do not know what is going on in the background, okay? And all of a sudden, wow, how come my battery is gone? I didn't do it much, I didn't use it much. This is the reason. Okay. And people in Google trying very hard to fix this kind of problem. Okay. For the regular users, it must be like my grandma just using that, doesn't know what is inside it. Okay. But for us, in this level that we know what is under the hood, okay, what's going on, many of the intents and pending intents are running, especially pending intents, are waiting to run at a certain time, okay? So this was the reason. I'm going to discuss about the other one that is available in Marshmallow, okay? And that is, suggest that we need to you need to create a window of operation. Window of operation, okay? It means from this time to this time. And in that period, all of these pending intents will start, okay? And the arrangement or prioritizing these are given to the operating system, okay? In let's say Linux, or in Unix, or even in Windows, we have control for setting up the priority or prioritizing different daemons, okay, or different certain background processes. But we don't have that much lock in cell phones, okay? That's what we are giving to the discretion of the operating system to make the arrangement. In fact, one of the very well-known and useful method in this category is set inexact. Set inexact. If in front of exact, it means it's gonna make it opposite. Okay. Set inexact. Okay. By set inexact, we are giving the permission to the operating system that automatically prioritize different intents. And for example, whenever the system is not on heavy load, okay, and mostly in idle mode, okay, run group of intents, okay, pending intents. Fallen. But when you are using your, for example, cell phone, you're calling somebody, or you are using your cell phone to surf something, and you are very busy with your cell phone, the operating system is going to wait, okay? And you specifically have already given the permit that set inexact, okay? It is when we have time, okay? Fallen. Otherwise, your cell phone is going to get warm, it's going to get hot, and your battery will, the temperature of the battery is going to go up. You have to do a lot of things. And when the temperature of the battery is going to go up, or cell phone or your temperature goes up, your cell phone is going to run some extra intent to cool the whole thing down, right? And this action is going to cause more problem to your cell phone. Following me? Okay? Because the battery needs to be cooled down. Otherwise, it's going to smoke. Following me? So certain activities should take place inside. If you have found one of these nights, I'm going to tell you what is going on inside. It's really interesting. See, wow, how busy your operating system is inside this tiny device which you have. Okay, it's a big world inside this tiny device. It's a really big world. Okay, really big. Okay. So let's continue. I'm going to go back to more methods. Tell you what happens. I just gave you sets so far. Okay, but the others I'm going to give you in a moment. Okay, let's continue. We discussed about set. And okay, what's going to happen if you have started your pending intent, right? Okay, and right under that, not you have started. Let's say I use this command amset, okay, for the same thing but different timing. One of them, for example, I say, okay, this pending intent should start at 2 in the morning, the other one 2 seconds after 2, the other one 5 seconds after 2, the other one 10 seconds after 2, and so forth. Many of them, the same pending intent, but in different times, okay? One after each other. In this case, the latest one will be used, the other pending intent will be automatically cancelled, okay? Only one of them will wait for starting, okay? Following. Let's say, for example, I say at 2 in the morning, call my friend, call John. And after that, by using another set, I said at 5 seconds after 2, call John. And after that, at 10 seconds after 2, call John. Following me? So, if I do it like that, the same job, but different time, okay? The previous pending intent will be automatically cancelled. The latest one will be kept.
Do you mean latest in time or latest in execution?
In time, okay?
So if I say, run something 4 hours from now, and then run the same pending intent 2 hours from now, it's still going to stick with the 4 hours from now because
That's correct. But there is a remedy to that. In a moment, I'm going to say that. Because sometimes you want something written in repetition, happens. Okay? For example, every 10 minutes, you want the temp directory being emptied. Okay? So we have such a mechanism in the Unix and Linux that automatically cron gonna empty the temp. Okay? For long time, I had a problem with the previous system admin in our school on Hills regarding temp directory. Temp directory. You guys know what temp directory, okay? The previous sysadmin was keeping the temp directory, if I don't make a mistake, for 48 hours, okay? And every 48 hours was cleaning that, okay? Or sometimes longer. And piles of files, junk files, are getting collected in a temp directory and was not cleaning up. I was telling that previous sysadmin that in any company which I have been working as a sysadmin, or in my own company now, the frequency of cleaning up temp is very high. Because especially if you have a heavy traffic, okay? Otherwise temp is gonna full, and sometimes it's gonna, file system is gonna be full. So we need to clean up. And but for some reason, I don't know, the politics, I don't know, they were not doing that. This was giving the very good opportunity to our students to create a temp directory for themselves inside temp, okay? And download a lot of files and use them and save them, okay? And they learned the trick that every 48 hours, okay, temp is getting cleaned up. So just before that time, they were renewing or touching the directory, and the directory was there for another 48 hours, and another 48 hours, and another 48 hours. As a result, lots of huge files were kept in temp in entire semester, okay? And the sysadmin sometimes was talking to me and said, I don't know why, it's a lot of files are in the tent. And I was telling that you need to change the frequency of cleaning up the tent. And for some reason, you know, I don't know what the reasons were. I'm not a politician. I don't know what's going on. But I'm telling you, technically, that temp should be cleaned up very often, okay? Because temp is a place that junk files are collected, right? If you have an important file, save it in your own directory, right? You want to put it in temp, right? Anyway, so we have such a mechanism in Android too, but totally different. In Android, because resources are limited, we are very, very, very careful about all of these activities, okay? In a large computers, normally, they are not that picky about timing and this kind of thing. But anyway, let's continue. Hello, welcome back. Okay, we discussed about that. If for any reason you want to cancel your own pending intent, you could do that. Let's do am dot cancel parentheses and the object of your pending intent. Okay, and that one is automatically canceled. Okay, where AM is your alarm manager. Okay, this is opposite of set. By set, you are setting up your pending intent to fire at a certain time, and by doing that, you just cancel it. Yes.
But can't use the same pending intent for many alarms?
You could.
And what happens here? It cancels all of them.
Well, you mean you use the same intent?
Yeah.
No, you're doing it.
Well,
At different times, run it at different
Well,
times.
I think you're going to go back to the question that Rafael asked. There is another mechanism for that kind of application. Okay.
So
That
even if there's a long distance between the time that they're supposed to happen, it would still clean up the early ones and just delete
it
them?
does, unless you do whatever I'm saying right now. Okay. If, for example, you use this for different time for the same intent, right? Only the last one will be kept. Just to make the to eliminate overhead on the system. Okay. Okay. Now let's get into the subject of setting the repeating alarms. This is subject that we are just talking about. Setting the repeating alarms. It repeats. Okay. You want something happens every 5 seconds, every 1 hour. Okay. So to make the alarm go off on repeatedly at a specific or specified interval, okay, at specific interval, we are doing this, okay? The method that we are using is void set repeating. The first argument is the same alarm type. I'll just put type. It means alarm type is integer. The second argument is again time, long trigger time. The third argument is interval, every 2 seconds, every 5 seconds, every 1 hour, every 2 weeks, and so forth, okay? Long interval. And finally, the last item is pending intent. Yeah. Okay? So, if you want repeatedly something happens, okay, you need to use set repeating. If you set
or set exact, only one. Okay? Okay. If you want to, again, there is another, again, this is, based on what they will discuss about set, the same happens in set repeating. The timing is a little bit off in most modern versions, okay? Clear? And we discussed about the reason behind that, why the timing is not exactly at the certain time that you want, yeah.
Question, so with the interval, I mean, not the interval, that window, that time frame window, well, with us just setting the time, that just gives us a window so we know that it'll be like around 5 seconds, or, you know, like around whatever the time frame is. That's the one thing, I guess that's what I don't get, is that window of time. Like you said that it'll be within a time frame that the thing will be triggered, but, is that from when we set the time?
We don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows, okay? If you are talking about the window that you want to set up, that within that time frame something should happen, I'm going to discuss about it.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes. But I haven't discussed about that. If you remember, I said we have set, which for versions before KitKat was working properly. But beginning of KitKat started talking about some problem, okay? Timing problem. They made exact, set exact was working, but it was working until Marshmallow. But in Marshmallow was not working properly. It was working, but timing was a bit off, okay? And they made another one set for a specific window, which I have not discussed. I'm going to talk about it, okay? So now we get into repeating. It means for the interval, just repeat. It's not something at 2 in the morning and go every 10 seconds. Okay, until something happens, right? So we are doing this, okay? But again, this is causing a little bit of problem for more modern versions, for most of the modern versions of AlarmManager. So to fix the problem, they made something is called set inexact repeating. Okay? Void set in exact repeating. Okay, the same item, but so if you guys see this doesn't give you the very accurate result, we need to go for set inexact repeating, and inexact is gonna is suggested by Google to not cause overhead on your system. If group of jobs need to be started at certain time, the system is gonna kind of leverage, it's gonna do something that cause minimum pressure on your system. Okay. Okay. When I say pressure, it means battery pressure and CPU pressure. Okay. CPU pressure. When all of the many different pending intents start at certain time, okay, a lot of heavy overload is gonna on your CPU, okay? Okay, now,
So,
yes.
I assume we're talking about minutes here instead of like hours or days, right? In this inexact.
Well, are you talking about in
Yeah,
the
how inexact it is, it's like minutes, right?
Oh, yes,
Minutes.
even less than a minute.
Less seconds.
Even less than a minute. For example, within
Second.
5 seconds,
Yeah.
within 4 seconds, within 2 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not talking about minute or, even a minute is too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
But in some application, we are
Yeah, sure.
working on
Exact moment.
seconds and milliseconds, because the timing is milliseconds, right?
Sure.
So it is not gonna be
He's
that
doing peaking
accurate.
when it says to peak.
For example, for example, we tried to make very, very accurate wake up time, wake up clock. That automatically wake you up at certain time per millisecond, okay? Because it's okay, millisecond is available. But so we cannot use it for measuring some sporting related activities. Swimming, that we are calculating up to the milliseconds, right? It's not gonna work, honestly. So be realistic. So in this case, still, cell phone is not really accurate for that, okay? Okay. So whenever we are receiving any new cell phone, we are testing that to see how accurate it is in terms of the timing and stuff like that, okay? Okay, let's continue. When we are using inexact, set inexact or set inexact repeating, our timing is a little bit different. Now we're going to go back to the question that Greg asked, okay? Our timing is a little bit different. So we are not using the exact time at certain milliseconds something should happen. We cannot do that. Our timing would be, for example, for inner wall, okay, here, for inner wall. We say we have the following constant that we are using, okay, for interval. Here. Okay. Start at 2 and interval will be every 2 seconds, every 1 second, every 5 seconds, something. But we are using this. Inner wall, 15 minutes. The other one is inner, I put the inner wall like that, underscore a half hour. We have inner wall half a day, underscore half a day. And we have inner wall day. And there are some other constants available. You could check it, so you could have, you need to specify this kind of inner wall, okay? You cannot say 2 seconds. There is no 2 seconds.
Is it in milliseconds that he's doing it?
Well, you need to use those constants that are already made. So the reason for that is they have found this constant to be the most accurate type of inner wall on cell phones, on Android cell phones, okay? So we need to use. I gave you four of them as an example. So here, for inner wall, you're gonna use, for example, 15 minutes. So every 15 minutes is gonna repeat, okay? Understand? You cannot put the 15 minutes or something. You
Yeah.
have to use some of these. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is a bit longer than that, but save this and to save time. I'll just give you 4 or 5 of them, okay? But you could go and check the history longer than that. Okay, yes?
So if you want to do like a 5 minutes example is, because these ones return long, we just put like 15 minutes divided by 3, does it gonna work?
No, it's not gonna work. If the number that you're looking for is not in the list, system is gonna find the closest number to what you want, okay? Follow? For example, I want for example, every 12 minutes. We don't have every 12 minutes in a row. So the system is gonna go for what?
15 minutes.
Okay. So the list of these would give you your options. You cannot go beyond that. More than that or less than that. Okay. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. we have done all of these tests, and I'm telling you 100% accurate, okay? Everything is accurate. Okay, now, I'm going to give you a complete example by the way, later. Let's learn how to set up a time, okay? I said normally we are using a calendar class, right? Let's learn about how we set up a time to be used in our alarm manager. Okay. The very first thing you need to do whenever you want to set up a time is you need to create the object of the calendar class, okay? And as you know, calendar class doesn't have any useful constructor. You are using
Factory method.
Factory calendar C calendar dot get the method is get instance that is giving us the object of calendar. And now let's say I want to set up a time right now. It means I want right now something happens, okay? So you know I'm going to use set or set exact, but the timing, I'm going to go back to here now, okay? How this is going to work, okay? I have to set up right now. How are you going to set up right now? You're going to say C dot, there is a method, it's called set time millis. Set time. I think set time in millis should be. Yes. System dot current time millis. You guys are familiar with system dot current time millis. That would give us the current time of the system in milliseconds, okay? So we get this and put it into here, and now the calendar time is set, okay? And after that, we put it here as I did in the example. If you see that, it's right over here. Okay? Get time. So you have to set the calendar time, and after that, so here you could do whatever. For example, you could say, I want 5 minutes from now. I want 2 seconds from now, or whatever, okay? 2 days from now. And there are many different things available. Okay? To manipulate the calendar time, let me show you how to manipulate. You learn how to set it, right? We're using a set time in minutes. To manipulate it, you're going to do it this way. There is C dot add. The method is add to manipulate the time, okay? Calendar dot second comma 1. This means 1 second from now something should happen. Okay? 1 second from now. Okay? So if right now I come over here, I go back to here, okay? The pending intent is going to start 1 second from now. And of course we have minute, we have day, we have week, we have month, we could do a lot of things, okay? For example, if you want for example, 45 seconds from now, just put what? 45, okay? And 45 seconds from now it's going to happen. And so forth. Now, let's write a program.
We just talk too much, okay? Let's write a very simple program. What I want to do is I want to write a program. So I'm going to make two activities. Okay, two activities. Okay. In one, I'm not going to say. Let me write it and you guess what it does, because otherwise it's nothing. Not very useful. I'm going to write. It's very simple. You just tell me what it does. What two activities are involved, okay? Look at the name of the activities which I'm using, name of the XML file which I'm using, and stuff like that. You could give me the right guess, okay? It's pretty simple. Don't forget, next week we are going to have a midterm exam, right? We put sample of the midterm exam. What does it do? Just look at it and say. So, I need to delete the board. I'm going to delete entirely here. And write this program. To make our job easier, I'm not going to put the XML files for layout. Okay, it's very simple. The button, you know how to set up the button, right? Or how to make the text view, because we need the text view, we need the button. Okay, so to save time and ink and energy of Abbas Martani, we are eliminating writing XML files, because we have two activities, okay? So let's do the first one. I'm going to call it reminder activity. What it does is reminding you, for example, you have a doctor appointment, okay? So the alarm is going to set up at certain time, and your cell phone says you have doctor appointment at such and such time and day, okay? Fallen. I told you what it does anyway. I already told you, right? Okay. Public. Class. Reminder activity. Reminder activity. Extend activity. Right. Okay. Public void on create bundle e super dot on create the set content view, for example, or dot layout dot reminder. So I have an XML file. It's called what? Reminder. Okay. And this is my first program, okay? So what it does, whenever you're running this, it's gonna go and display, for example, you have a doctor appointment at 12 today. Something like that. It's very simple. And that is nothing but, so the whole thing is in this XML file. We have XML file with text view, okay? And Android :text is you have a doctor appointment at 12 today. That's it, right? So whenever you call this, that message is gonna come up, right? See how it is? Now we're gonna make another activity that is the heaviest part. That activity is gonna create the alarm, right? And after it's gonna fire this one up, fire up this to display the message, right? At certain time. Following? Okay, now let's talk about that one. That one has a button. So whenever you click on a button, the message is going to come out, right? Okay? Okay, let's take care of it.
Okay. Got this. Okay. Public. Class. Alarm activity. Good name, huh? Alarm activity expense activity at override public void on create quantity super dot on create b and set content view parenthesis or dot layout dot alarm. So I have an XML file is called alarm.xml. It's a layout. Okay. Now let's create the object of a button. Okay. Button. btn equal button find viewer ID. Find view by ID or dot ID dot alarm button. So in our XML file we have alarm button ID. Okay. btn. Okay. Let's take care of the event. I'm going to make anonymous in a class. btn dot set on click listener. It means catch the event and do the following. New button dot on click listener parenthesis. Okay. Now we're gonna implement. We're gonna override on click public void on click, and as you know the argument is VUD. Okay. First of all, now pay attention. Everything's very simple so far, but now we need to create an intent, right? Because when you're firing up something, intent should be fired up. So the very first thing is create an intent, okay? We create a regular intent, and after that we're gonna create pending intent based on regular intent. Okay? This is the way that we do. The intent I equal new intent. Context is this, and we need, when we click on a button, we start up this, right? So the name is gonna be reminder activity dot class, right? Reminder activity dot class. Okay, so intent is created. Okay, now we're gonna create pending intent based on that. Okay. pending intent, PI equal pending intent, intent dot get. You guys know that pending intent doesn't have any constructor, so you need to call the factory method. Get activity. The name is get activity. And the first argument is
Contest.
pending intent. Intent dot flag. All of this stuff are discussed when I was talking about broadcasting, broadcast receiver, okay? And flag underscore cancel underscore current. The last flag here simply says what? If we have another pending intent, cancel
Cancel.
that, okay? We do not want to have many pending intents waiting, okay? So, pending intent is created, okay? If you forgot about what these are, look at your notes, I already covered that, okay? Okay, pending intent is created, and now we need alarm manager, okay? Alarm manager, AM equal alarm manager, get system service, system service parenthesis, and the argument is alarm service. Alarm underscore service. Okay, we created the alarm manager object. Now we need to set up the calendar and continue. So I'm gonna go over here, suppose. I think we have already made the calendar, object of calendar, so to say ink and time, I'm gonna leave it there. So create the calendar, and after that, C dot set time in millis, system dot current time millis, parenthesis. So C dot add calendar dot second comma, let's put 1 or 2 or something. 1 is good. 1 second right after that is going to start. Okay, so we did, and now let's set up the alarm. Okay, we made timing, now set up the alarm. We're going to use set. If you're working with the latest versions, use set exact. Okay, okay, AM dot set alarm manager, alarm manager, dot RTC underscore wake up, comma, C dot get time in millis, comma, we created the pending, we call it pi pending intent, pi, okay. So, we set the alarm, right? And now, let's make a toast and the job is done. Toast dot make text, parenthesis, this, comma, alarm will start in a second. Okay. Comma. Let's make it with a timing. Toast dot long to length. Length underscore long. And show a toast. Close, close, close. Okay. Okay. So, as you see, is pretty simple, right? When you run this activity, this is the first activity you run, right? When you run it, you see there is a button over there, right? You click on the button, and when you click on the button, first of all, when you click on the button, the system is going to create what? Create alarm, right, for you, and set up a timing for you, and after this call, it's going to call this for you, right? Okay? And at the same time, we're going to display a message for you that the alarm will start in a second. Okay? So when you wait for 1 second, after you see a message comes up that says you have a doctor meeting or whatever. You have a meeting with some such and such, okay? Following. And if you try to see, it's working very nicely, okay? Okay. Guys, I got tired. My battery is about finishing. Also, my ink is about finishing. Okay, let's go for a short break. After the break, we need to talk more about